This is going to be a little shout out to the trout fishermen and the fly tires. A friend of mine asked me to put this video up. It's tying a pink scud, and the pink scuds are, in my area, a real local standard. In fact, this thing's not too pink, it's more of a beige, but we do tie them pretty hot pink, so I have a tendency to refer to them as pink scuds. They're a very productive local year-round trout pattern for our trout streams. We have a spring creek near where I am. We use this thing all the time. So this is something really for the trout fishermen out here. So if you're a trout fisherman, leave a comment. Tell me you're a trout fisherman. This is going to be a pretty hardcore fly tying video because I'm going to go right through the details of tying this thing. So it's going to be, once again, for the fly tires, this will be really interesting. It's going to be, but if you're not much of a fly tire, maybe not so. But anyways, if you like this format, leave a comment. Tell me. It's your comments are always helpful. Well, I'm going to get on and tie this fly. Put a hook in here. Now the hooks I'm using are these Daiichi 1530 size 14s. I was oh, excuse me, the battle of the coughs. Hook here's a Daiichi 1550 size 14. I was going to tie it on a 12, but don't have any 12s. I'll get right at it. I'm going to put a pad of thread down. I'm using some white 8/0 uni thread. I'm not going to really butt wrap it. I'm just going to kind of spiral it in. I don't want to have a real tight butt wrap on this. I'm just retrieving a little bit of wire here. We have in the past tied this fly with 4X model tippet. So if you don't have any wire, the tippet will work just fine. But this is some fine silver wire. That's an adaptation we've done a few years back, is go to this wire. Now, the trick right here is make sure you tie this, and it'll come prevalent down the road, right along the side of the shank of the hook. Here again, you notice I wasn't too crazy about butt wrapping. Now, we're going to put a piece of lead. And what we're using is we're using these twist-on pieces of lead and pulling these things off. Now I cut them to various shapes, so it just to go on the top. So normally what we do is we'll cut them off the length, and then we will take a pair of fingernail clippers and make sure you have the file on the back. And in this case I have a, so this is actually is a little heart surgical artery clip that we use. And I like to use these fingernail clippers. And the file's pretty important, and that'll come pretty prevalent in a minute. To prep that, let's get it in here, make sure that everything stays in where it's supposed to be. I'd like to use the curved part, and we'll kind of get it rounded off. And then I can use the file and file it up over. One of the things is we're going to stand this piece horizontally. So we're going to want to roll over the top to put treads, and then we're going to want to go on the bottom and make sure the bottom is flat. But to save time, I've already got a few prepped. And try to get them in here to show you what they look like when they're prepped. They're just like little half moons. It's a little tricky, but what we'll do is we're going to actually tie this thing standing up on edge on the shank of the hook. Now you see I can use a few pinch wraps. That one's actually kind of got on there kind of crooked, so we'll go back and I'll retry to set that again. This is where that wire running along the length of the shaft is important. There we go. Now that's holding. Straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. And she'll sit right on top of there. It's also why it's important to make sure that the bottom is filed flat, because a lot of times this lead has a slight curve and it'll just keep rolling on you. That just got that lead mounted on there. What we're going to do is put some legs in, and this is some excuse me, that cough is still nagging. Some ostrich plume. right here, right off the side, and we'll just put that in. This little beige plume works really good. Kind of a, I don't know, everybody calls it beige. I refer to it as brown. Get that in. Now for the shellback, which is going in next, there's a lot of different options you can do. This is some regular Scudback shell. It's some 1/4-inch tan. That'll work. It comes in clear. It comes in whatever color you want. I usually use the clears, and when I get done using up all the Scud material, I cut the bag up and just keep tying. So in this case, what I already cut some stuff from my bag. So I'll just go ahead and just use this material. Since it's already cut in about a 1/4-inch strip. I'm going to fold it over. You can see how it kind of came in the middle of the fly. Kind of try to get it folded over on even sides. Right back down there. Right down at the base. We're going to put a little layer of dubbing. In this case, this is some light pink Antron. Or excuse me, not Antron. This is Angora yarn. Get in there and we'll just kind of, in this case, kind of pull it off with your fingernails. Get down here where you can see it in the camera. Get it tore up. And we'll just kind of dub it on. But I don't get too crazy with it. I want a nice light coating on, because we're not going to want this fly to build up a lot of bulk. There we go. That's more than enough. And we're just going to hang on that thing here, and just a nice even layer. At this point, if you can see the lead through the dubbing, I do not worry about it. Because when it comes through with the ostrich plume, we can hide, there we go, all of our sins.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit.
Yep. Got a little bit of dubbing left on the thread here. Now we got those plumes sticking out. Lick your fingers. Slav is our friend, and go straight down. I just pulled all the legs down. Bring the shell over. Try to keep it in the center. Catch it with a couple of loose turns. Pull it down. Tie it out. Now a quick note. This stuff is stretchy, so don't pull it too tight. Just kind of gently snug, because it's going to return back to its original shape, and they can sometimes tie themselves. Now the rib, I'm just going to kind of wiggle it through and make sure I get that nice Scud looking segment. There we go. Bring it right up in the front. Couple 3 turns, make sure the wire's in place. A little bit of a head. And we'll go after it with a whip finish tool.
Is there any importance in not leaving the antennae in, or leaving it out for what you're seeing on the streams?
Yeah, you look at them in there, they sometimes have little tails, little antennas. We have not noticed these fish reacting negatively to that. My joke is by the time they realize they don't have antennas and legs, it's too late. They're already chewing on it. So we've never really missed having to have that on there. And there's our Scud. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative, possibly a little entertaining. It is a pretty cut and dry fly tying segment. Once again, please subscribe to our channel. We could use your help. And if you'd like to see more of this, mention it down in the comments. We're still just finding our way, and your comments are very helpful. Once again, folks, thanks for watching.